and we'll go right on the record. Okay, thank you for joining us. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2016. Hello, ladies. Hello, hello, hello. I see lots of
everybody.
Faces. This is Rach Wilson. She is a master coach who teaches people all about transformational coach, and she is also intuitive, so I'm sure you know why she's here. She teaches
awesome.
people. Yes, because you are freaking awesome. The very first, as I told you when you and I talked the first time I saw you, and that was on Lakeisha's show, I'm going, oh, she's my people. She's so my people. I must have her on my show. She's so awesome. So, she is going to talk to us today, ladies and gentlemen, about manifesting and creating the life that you want. You tell me, you feel free to jump in and better coin phrase that than
you're doing well so far. Keep going.
Okay. Sometimes I can't tell what my headset's. Oh, now I hear it. Do you have headsets? Oh, wait a minute.
I've got my headset on.
How are we both getting echoes and we have headsets?
I'm not getting an echo.
Must be me.
Are you getting an echo?
I'm waiting here. I am. It's weird. Hang on. Let me unplug for a second. Can you both hear me?
I can hear you.
Interesting. Can you hear me when you can everyone hear me when I'm talking?
I can. Real? Yep, much better. Okay. Everybody's done.
Apparently it's the headsets. Riddle me that, Batman. Okay. Well, here we go, ladies and gents. Alrighty. No headsets tonight. That's all right. That saves me that whole funny ear feeling afterwards. So I'm perfectly good with that. So oh my goodness, that is hilarious. That's pretty funny. I don't need headsets today. Isn't that something? Okay, so as I said, ladies, gentlemen, welcome to 2016. We know at the beginning of the year, everything is all about writing these wonderful lists with all these lofty goals in mind about what we're going to do with our business and our home and how we're going to parent differently. And we're going to make money this year. And this is the year we're going to lose weight. And everybody joins the gym. And about I think they say it's like 5 weeks in, statistically, everybody falls off. We stop going to the gym. Typically, you do this green smoothies for like the first 5 to 10 days. And then time to go to Burger King. This is what happens to us because A, it takes 21 days to create a habit. And B, a lot of the time we write these things because in our heart, it's what we want, but we don't necessarily know how to make it really come to fruition. And the difference between what's on a list, having a goal and actually putting it into action is tremendous. And it's usually the difference between those folks who you really see accomplishing things and those who are like, I wish I had just followed what I wrote down in January. I'm preaching to the choir. I do the very same thing.
We're all done it once before.
I'm totally guilty of the same stuff. So today was my first day in yoga. I have my own yoga trainer who's training me online. Very cool experience. As a matter of fact, he will actually be the guest next week on the show. And intentions versus resolutions. It's all about wanting to get out there and do this. In other words, this requires action. And sometimes that goes beyond just writing it down on a list. I'm notorious for writing lists too, people. So I'll say a few things before we get started. Number one, I don't tell anybody something that I either am not currently working through or have already done. Why? Because I don't really believe you can teach what you haven't accomplished. And what I mean when I say that is I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm sitting on here as the resident guru of all, as though I've hit the holy grail of mastering everything and I'm all good. Even Oprah knows better than that, so I wouldn't dare. But I say that to say I'm here to learn just like everyone else. And that's what I hope we get out of this show. And all the shows in January are really going to be all about manifestation and creating a better you. So we're going to have a lot of guests on talking about the possibility of creation and how to, talk to the universe and create the great outcomes that we're all looking for in our lives. We all want to live in better neighborhoods and to have our kids go to great schools and to eat healthy and feel good and get up in the morning with energy and excitement and do a job that we love, and as opposed to whatever the job is that you don't love, that you might be doing right now. We want all of those things. And to get out of Atlanta traffic, I don't know about the rest of you, but for me, that's a big one. Huge. And now that I'm not in Atlanta traffic, gotta say, pretty grateful about it. So without further ado, I am Masaki Kai, for anybody in the room who doesn't know that already. And thank you, Lakeisha. You can tell I'm having a hard time positioning myself around this thing. We'll get it right next week. No worries. But Rachel Wilson is here to talk to us all about that wonderful topic about creating a better you and creating some goodness in your life. And what I would like to do, ladies and gents, we're going to get started with Rach just giving us a little bit of information about her and what she does and how she can better assist you with that. And then we're going to open up the floor for folks very early on to ask questions. We want this to be an interactive show, as it always is, and to be able to have the conversation with us. So... Oh, I'm just reading the note. And meantime, I will be reading the notes on the side. So if anybody has questions before we even open up the seat, feel free to post them. No worries. We're going to get to everybody. All right. Okay. So, Rach, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Hi. Oh, look, my pleasure. I love doing stuff like this where I can just be free flow and just talk and just give and help however I can. Yeah. One of my superpowers is I teach emotion mastery and I help people to heal their emotional stuff. So one of the things you hear a lot in the personal development world is mindset is everything. And I'm here to say that no, it's not. It's a little bit of a controversial line that I take, but it's more about beliefs are benign. Mm-hmm. They're benign until you wrap them up and cement them in with emotional crap. So I'm not good enough, depending on how much emotional crap you've got wrapped around it, will determine how easily you step into your power, how easily you put yourself out there, how easily you succeed, all of that stuff. So the zone that I tend to work in is I help you to dissolve the emotional glue that's holding those crap beliefs in place and to determine what you want to believe instead, and start to install that as a belief. Now that's sort of the middle part of it. The bigger picture is that me and my business partner, Therese, who is someone who you will love and adore because she is more psychic intuitive than I am. And we focus on teaching what we call the 4 intelligences. Now, because success is an internal game, as we all know, our external world reflects our internal world. And having been an entrepreneur for coming on 10 years this year, wow. I've learned a lot about what not to do, what doesn't work. I've had periods of success where I've had a great mindset and I've really focused on a lot of working from inspiration and coming from the heart space, because I didn't do that originally. I did what everybody else said you should do, and it was a very mental game at that point. Once I worked that out and went, oh, okay, that's not the right way to do it. I need to work out what feels good to me, what I want to do. So I did that. But I still did that from a mind space. I wasn't incorporating spirit. And that's what this last 18 months has been really focused on. Now, the current one is all of that plus working with the body. The body is the health aspect, the energy, because your emotional state has a lot to do with not just your spiritual development, but it also has a lot to do with your body's physical energy, your body's physical health. It's not just about fitness and eating all the good stuff. It's multiple layers. Yes. So we teach how to use the 4 intelligences, which is spirit, mind, heart and soul, and body, in synchronicity to create the most amazing life where it's ease and grace. It's balanced. It's not hardcore burnout. You have to do 1,000 hours. It's about having all of it. I call it holistic success.
Okay.
Success in life, love, and business or career, whatever you want to call it.
Love it.
That's sort of in a nutshell. It goes into more depth once you get into the different areas, but I work on all 4 intelligences, and emotion mastery is the key to getting those all in check.
I love that. And there's one part in particular that I picked up on. I'm training in my clinical level of hypnotherapy. I'm already a hypnotherapist, but I'm training in the clinical level. And I so agree with you 1,000% on that aspect of mindset is a great thing, but there's a layer deeper, and in order to be able to pull that out and really and really high boom, and really be able to speak to that core level and really change the mindset, you got to go one layer deeper. And usually
deeper way in.
Yeah, and it's really esoteric, very spiritual, very holistic work. I love the way you say that, because I really believe it. I really believe that to my core. So I told you you were my people. I told you. As soon as I'm like, oh, she's my people.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah, so I love to focus on the holistic version. So I'm like you, I've done hypnosis, NLP, which is all mind stuff. And I still felt something was missing. And it wasn't until I started to explore intuition and spirit that I got another layer, but I hadn't put it all together. That's what I've done in the last 18 months. And now I'm really starting to get the effects of my success in my business is different. It's stepping up very quickly because I'm incorporating my access to my team in spirit, is the way I call them, but also listening to my body and going, well, right now, do I have the energy to do this thing? I'm working in with my natural energy cycles, my natural inspiration, and it's taking a lot of trust, but the results are massively different to the old paradigm of, step one, this is the goal, push, 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 action, 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 achieve, achieve, achieve. It doesn't work. It works for some, let me say that. It works for some, but It's not the be-all and end-all formula for everybody who wants to have success, holistic success in every area of their lives.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Well, you've definitely opened the floor exactly as I was anticipating, but with exactly the points that I was looking to really kind of drive home. So do you mind talking a little bit about, and I have your links, of course, and we can get to that momentarily, but do you mind talking a little bit about if you don't mind, your programs and how it is you engage people in this process of kind of going down?
Transformation. Well, my business partner and I, we're in a fairly new business together doing all this stuff. We actually been doing channeling sessions with our team in spirit, which is how a lot of this came about. This year, though, we are going to have a group program, and we're about to start a 21-day challenge, as you happened to mention earlier in the piece. 21 days it takes for a habit to create. And in that 21-day challenge, which will be starting, I think, on the 9th or 10th, we're going to create and give our participants 2 audios. One of them is in the morning and one to be played at night, and it incorporates all of the things that we as entrepreneurs or whatever want to tick off on our list to engage with spirit, to engage with our heart and soul, to listen to our body, all of those 4 intelligences, and it's 2 audios. That's all it is, because what we're doing is the 21-day challenge is kind of the precursor to the group program. That's out of the bag now, but that's usually what happens. And in the group program, so that the 21-day challenge layers in the first part of the habit, and then we start to step it into looking at the 4 different intelligences, how you can incorporate different little practical tools. And we keep them easy, keep them short, because we're all busy people, and we keep saying, oh, we don't have time for that. So the audios are going to make that really, really easy, using the power of intention, using the power of gratitude. All these things we know make a huge difference to our ability to manifest the life that we want. But we put it into little capsules so that it's easy to take during the day. Make it simple.
Okay. Oh, we do have a question up here. She's asking, Lakeisha's asking if the challenge has already started.
No, it hasn't started yet. It will be starting on, I think, the 9th. But if you jump onto we've got a group that you can not subscribe to, but join. It's called Sparkly, hang on. Oh, I'm going to have to find the link. Kick-ass and Sparkly Ladypreneurs, I think it's called.
I love it. Oh, my goodness. That's a hell of a title. Okay.
Yeah, because we wanted to. I mean, our 4 intelligences are a mixture of really standing in our power, which is the kick-ass, like, let's just frickin' do this. But the sparkly is incorporating the feminine and the creative and the, well, I'm just going to sparkle. I'm going to have my heels on and I'm going to kick ass like a ninja, so it's a good, beautiful blend of the 2.
Nice. Okay. Alrighty. And I will make sure to start posting some of the links to your other, I know you sent me two, and I know one is to the
free gift,
the free success tool, which is so freaking awesome. See, folks, I told you there'd be freebies on the show.
There's freebies, yeah. It's a kick-ass success toolkit. Well, what we've done with the free toolkit is given you what we call a spark session, a wealth one specifically, to help you to bring in more money. It only goes for like 3.5 minutes, gets you moving, gets you working with mantras, has some good beat to it. It's really easy. The second one is a tool that I use to completely dissolve stress in a moment. It's really easy to use. And then the third one, for people who are just learning or trying to start connecting with their team in spirit, we've got a full hour masterclass with a one sheet to help people to connect in with their team in spirit. So we're already starting the education process in the toolkit. And from there, once you're on that list, then you're going to get the emails to let know what's happening with the 21-day challenge and everything else we're creating along the way.
Okay. Very good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I am going to go ahead and unlock the seat for anybody who would like to either sit in and ask questions or ask questions on the side. I will leave that wide open. I know if people aren't, I know for me, see, I just got my little emblem up here on the wall and everything. So I was prepared to get on camera, but I totally get, like, people tag me a lot of the time on Blab, and I'm like, oh, dagnabbit, I got to get on with no lip gloss again. Never works. Look at myself on some of these, I'm like, oh, God, like the photos, the pictures, when I'm on Oprah, people are going to look this stuff up, and it's just, it's going to be horrifying, when everybody sees it, like, oh my God, she have concealer on? What was going on that day? Yeah, anyway. So does anybody have any questions about what it is that Rachel does or the services that she is providing?
So one of the other things we're doing at the moment is a podcast for ladypreneurs. So we spend half an hour every 2 weeks talking about, I think we just spoke about what to do when someone copies your work. So it's stuff like that. It's helpful, but it's incorporating stuff around spirit and body and all the four intelligences. And,
oh my goodness. I love this. That is a great, great topic. What to do when somebody, that comes up a lot in these, all these industries where, coaching, intuitive anything, that comes up so much. That's really interesting that you guys would have hit on that one. I love that because I think a lot of the time we get stuck and think as soon as someone does that we can't, we're frozen. Like, oh yeah, do I keep going? They've stolen the thing, and I'm like,
no, the emotional stuff gets triggered. But we can talk about it. I know we sort of set the program up originally to talk about manifesting money. Did you want to go into that?
Let's go into that next, because Lord knows I'm a Taurus, so that's always my favorite topic. We'll just do the show for me. How about that?
All right.
Definitely my favorite topic.
Where did you want to start?
Well, I know you focus on really two different, I'll call it two different elements. There is manifesting money for people in business, and then there's also just manifesting money, creating success in your life. And I know there are several women in here right now. I just happen to know a lot of the folks in the room who are entrepreneurs. So I'm thinking manifesting money in your business or success in your business is probably a really specific and great place for us to start. Talk about some of the tools that you use in order to create success. Because I know you're a very busy woman. You and I were having a hard time pinning down even time to chat because your phone's ringing off the hook. Good problem. I'm sure all of us
terrible. I'll share a tool that I use. Like the one thing that I know, and I'm sure everybody's done this. Everybody says do a vision board for the year to come, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't have the time to do that shit. I mean, it's a great idea and all, but by the time you buy the magazines and then you got to find the right picture and
I know.
So I've written it in a blog post, but I'll give you the basics of it. Instead of having specific goals, which is the old format, I'm going to achieve this goal by this date, and I get clear on what do I want to feel more of this year. So that becomes the basis of my entire year, and I use those. So for me, and they're kind of themes. I want to trust more. I want to trust more in my team. I want to trust more in myself. I want to trust more in the flow of life so that there's less fear, more trust. I want to have more balance. A little bit less work, a little bit more R. I also want to have more ease and grace, less struggle, strain, force, which is the old pattern. And I've certainly made a lot of progress on that in the last year, but I want to take that another step further. I want more of that and more experience of it. So I came up with those things. And then I came up with, okay, what are some of the physical things that I actually want to achieve this year? And I kept it down to, say, 2 or 3 things. The hard part is when you've got a lot of goals, it gets really overwhelming. So my health goal is really to recover my energy and my body health, because I've had a health challenge the last few years.
Okay.
And finally now working with a naturopath, we've got a protocol to get me back, which is going to take about 12 months. I'm being real with myself rather than thinking I need to do this in 2 months, which is the old thing.
Huge.
Yeah. Huge. So that's the whole intelligence of body, which is our team in Spirit have been hammering us with how important the body is to our success, because we've got the other ones going, but the body is the one going, hey, what about me? I need rest. I need food. I need.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you're an A-type personality, you tend to, the mind is so strong. It goes, I need to do this. I'm going to do this. And it's commit, push, force, fall down in a heap. It doesn't have to be that way. So I decided my theme was more ease and grace. So, which means working with my team in Spirit to manifest and attract the things and the resources I need rather than push, force.
Okay.
So,
sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I did one vision board. It's about as far as I got. The rest have been sort of half-hearted. So then I picked a couple of things. I want to write my book this year. That's on my list of things that I want to get completed.
Okay.
And I've got a couple of other things, and I want to be earning $15,000 plus a month clear. So that's beyond tax and whatnot.
Beyond tax.
I'm intending for that to happen this year, but I'm not saying to the universe I'll be upset if it doesn't. And this is a big thing around goals.
Huge.
Yeah. Everything's about how you feel. Yes. By all means.
Those two things that you just said, A, about body, and B, about money. And Lakeisha and I talk about this because Lakeisha is my strategist. She's my coach. So we talk about this in creation of goals. And we wrote this long list of things that I was going to do for like the first, 4-6 months. And then, I was starting them all, and I'm like, no, we're going to have to take that off the list for 2 months. And we're going to move that down on the list. And then I just got really real, okay, well, you can't start 4 things simultaneously because you will die. Either that, or I'll just hunker down in the bed and just look around for a month like a turtle and do nothing. So I'm like, I got to get real here, and that's what for me. That's what's come with age. Yes, gastronome. That's huge, and that's where I was really going with that. Not holding the universe and being realistic about your goals. We're all human. Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. And it depends on the magnitude of the project. And one of the ones that I'm trying to launch is big. It's an undertaking. It's a collaboration. It's a bunch of layers. And I'm going, did I really think I was launching that on like January 6th, which is like tomorrow? Probably not, folks. Probably not. But in your mind, it's you get this idea. It's like, oh, we're gonna do it right now. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, and you find a lot of the time when you step back and look at the whole thing and really get realistic about what it is you want. And if it really matters to you, if the goal really matters to you, very often you will find you're willing to put in the time, the energy, the application in order to see it through to the tail end of the process. I think a lot of time, and this is probably true of everyone in any industrialized nation, but I think of Americans in particular, we're notorious for the quick fix. We want it now.
Same here.
We just want to appeal for it. Please just make it happen immediately. So my thinking, and I write lists that way. So I'm recognizing now, this is what 40 has taught me. Take a step back, go, okay, do I really want this? And more importantly, if I want to make $1 million a year, do I want to do the work of $1 million? I'm quickly learning, no, that is not the case. I would rather be on an island somewhere. So I'm happy with $500,000 if that allows me to work part-time. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting to that, but that's the realism in me that is also growing. It's like, I don't know that I want to work as hard as a billionaire may work. They're on all the time. There's people going through their garbage. I'm not sure if I'm looking for any of that. I just simply want to do the good work and make sure that my schedule isn't so cumbersome that I'm exhausted. I think that's where I am. So as I get more honest with myself about, as I get more honest about, hi, Coach Michelle, hello. As I get more honest about what it is that I really want, I'm aligning with exactly what you're saying. Not so many specific over the moon goals. Instead, it's very realistic. Broken down. This is what I'm really looking for. And you said something huge, and I saw it resonated with several people here. Not getting mad at the universe, like it's the universe's fault. If what I put on a piece of paper doesn't come to fruition, is it really anybody's fault other than mine? You know what I mean? And not being mad at myself or the universe for not necessarily creating this wild outcome, because everything is happening in divine time. That is my
divine timing. That is the big thing. You can have the biggest goal you can ever. It doesn't matter what the big goal is. Have that big goal. Make it fucking massive. It's perfect. Right. But it's letting go of the attachment to when it has to come through.
Yes.
So I've got all these little goals. Right? Rather than doing a vision board, I literally wrote down all of the things, my themes for the year, the things that I intend, a couple of reminders. So I wanted to remember to use intention every day and to use gratitude every day, and to ask more from my team to help me. So I put them on little square colored pieces of paper and I stuck them all on my wall. So it's not a vision board, but it's a singular little piece of paper. So now it's flexible. If I want to change that goal, I'll just take that one off. I put another one on, but I can see it every morning and every night. And what I do when I meditate in the morning is I create an energy ball, and I purposely intend for that energy ball to energize my manifesting wall, and I can see all of the things linking up behind it. So it's bringing it all in. So I trust that. And then all I've got to do is go, right, there are all the things I'm intending. What action can I take today that is going to lead me in that direction? And I'm not attached to the time. And here, can I add one more thing on that?
Worse.
This is something our team in Spirit gave me the other day. Because I'm an A-type personality, it's like, right, these are my goals and this is what I'm going to do. And Therese said to me, Rach, you haven't left any room for there to be miracles and surprises. And I'm like, oh, okay. So what they suggested was that I then go and get a whole bunch of other pieces of paper that have nothing written on them and stick them on my wall to create space for miracles and surprises to come in, not just the things that I'm intending. So it creates that openness, that flexibility for the universe to provide other things that I've got no idea or even know what to ask for.
Oh, I'm going to write that down, because that's brilliant, because I would not have thought to, and that is so freaking smart.
I'm going to address here, Rocco Steady. I didn't actually do this last year because I thought I had to have a vision board, which I never. I did an energy anchor board, which I got from Summer McStravick, who does Me School. It was her, which is more about what emotions and energies do I want to be experiencing more of, but it didn't quite have the specifics of what I wanted to achieve. And because it wasn't in my vision and in my field every day, I didn't achieve as many as I wanted to, which is why I came up with this system. Now that it's on my wall, I've got a much higher chance of remembering to ask what action should I take today, and taking action to move forward to it. So it's a different process.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Well done, Rocco Steady.
Nice. Yeah.
90% of yours was completed. I did get ease and grace, lots of ease and grace. That was what I intended. I did get a lot of ease and grace. So my business really shifted massively by doing that. So, yeah, I did really achieve quite a lot of it without having any specifics on the wall.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Yeah, leaving space for the universe to create the miracles. I can relate to that so well. And I'm thinking to myself, I had a vision board that I created 3 years ago. This huge onslaught of clients came in a whole different state that I never would show up. I'm thinking, that was one of the miracles. I didn't know at all.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that came to pass, what I did to manifest or create that, other than just do the work. And the more I'm thinking about that, you're right, because I want way more of that.
Yeah,
I
that
want
and some.
3 times that, people showing up who I never would have thought and go, what am I doing in Wisconsin? My people are here. Who knew? So you're right. You got to leave room for the miracles, for the miracles that, wow, I really, really like that. I have to tell you.
All right. Hang on. Rocco Steady wants to share. Come on.
Yes, come on. Absolutely.
Yes,
Sorry.
My bad. Love the chat.
How you doing?
Hey there. How are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Hey.
Here enjoying y'all's conversation. Y'all are awesome.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, I love your accent.
I love your accent. Would you like to trade?
No. I like listening to yours. I'd get bored of it after a while if that was the case. Oh, yes. Show us your vision board.
So I want to show you something. Okay, so this is my vision board from 2015. I made this January 2015. I'm going to take you through the journey real quick, and it's absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm going to start off with LL Cool J. I'm an inspirational hip hop artist, so I believe in the power of words. So I love this stuff. And LL Cool J has the longest lasting longevity as a hip hop artist. Now, I didn't manifest LL Cool J, but I'll show you something. One day I went to the mall. And I was like, I'm going to buy an expensive watch, you know? I bought this watch right here, right? Oh, not watch, a belt. And I was like, man, I don't know. I never owned a belt like that before, so I bought it. It was like a $400 belt. And I was looking at my vision board, and all of a sudden I see his belt. And I'm like, what the heck? Right?
That's funny.
So, okay, I want to tell you a little story about myself, okay? I have been spiritually homeless for 28 years. I'm 28 years old. When I was 1 month old, I was sent to the Philippines to stay with 10 different family members and different households. So I either slept on the floor, slept on the couch, or slept on a bed with 5 other people. So I was always accustomed to living like that, always moving, always adapting, always adapting. So needless to say, I found a lot of benefit because I can get along with anybody and I can adapt anywhere. But I was always looking for home, despite the fact that I told myself the story that I was always at home. So last year, I traveled to 15 different countries, and I was sitting in Dominican Republic, and I was like, why am I always traveling? And, you know, everybody thinks it's lavish. They're like, oh, Rocco's on tour. He's traveling. Wow, woo! But deep inside, there was an emptiness that I had to face. And in the Dominican Republic, I realized that the reason that I had been traveling a lot is because I was avoiding the commitment of finding a home. So back to my vision board.
There'd be a house on there, right?
I never owned a bed in my life. I put a bed in my vision board. That's my bed right there.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very nice.
I put a skyline here. I live in Houston. I put a skyline here, right?
Oh, you're serious? Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Well done. Well done.
I put publications on here. I was featured in 16 different publications last year. I have Common on here. I did a show with Common last year. I have this right here, and I said, connect my people to 2 shows, April and September. I connected my people for 3 shows. 300 people showed up in each shows, and I was able to organize my fan base on an Excel spreadsheet. It says organize. I have 5,000 names and contact information of people I've actually touched and connected with on an Excel spreadsheet. Okay. All right. Okay.
That is awesome.
Be grateful. Help the less fortunate. I was able to do that. Let me show you one that's absolutely wild. Okay. Just for jokes, I put girls in bikinis on here because I'm like, I'm going to manifest some honeys, right? I'm going to manifest some bikinis, right? I want to show y'all something.
I thought he was going to the girl literally, and I'm like, oh my god.
No, it was just, here's my spreadsheet. Look, here's all my fans right here. All right, so I want to show you something real quick. Swimsuit. Okay. Okay. I put that as a joke.
Oh my goodness. Are you there?
He's there. Yeah.
Talk about a vision board. Whoa.
Damn.
Oh my goodness.
That is awesome.
I was able to perform for Miss Swimsuit USA, which is the largest. That's the Miss Universe of bikinis in the Dominican Republic, and I made their theme song. And look, okay, check this out. I put $100,000 on here. I made $135,000 last year. I put highest paid musicians. I'm the highest independently paid musician in Houston. And the reason I'm sharing this is not to show off. I want to share this with y'all because I was homeless. I was literally homeless for 2 years. Wow. I would shower and brush my teeth at 24-hour fitness, and I would work out as hard as I could possibly work out just so I could fall asleep in my Mazda Miata. Yeah. For 2 years. For two whole years. Wow. And the thing that I have to say is, if you believe it, you have to do, have. You have to become that person.
Oh, yeah.
And then you will do the things that person does. And then you will have the things that person has. And it's really about a burning desire. Because you see, a lot of times we'll tell ourselves a goal, right? We're like, okay, this is a goal. It's what we want. And then we don't truly have a burning desire. I mean, you're willing to do anything.
As a why.
Cut things out. Like, I mean, in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, I've read that book like 800 times, throughout the course of my life. And I mean, like, burning desire is so important because if you don't have burning desire, you don't have the longevity and the stamina to endure the duration you need to focus on it in order for you to have it. Yep.
Amen to that. Yeah, it's the big thing I talk about is your why. You've got to know your why. If you don't have a why that is strong enough, you won't commit to it long enough to see it through.
Right.
So that's the other part that's on my wall is my why. So part of my why for this year, apart from lots of happiness and joy,
right.
Part of my why for my business being at the level that I want it to be is because my husband wants to be a stay-at-home dad, and I wanted to be a stay-at-home dad.
Awesome.
So that for me is there's a very strong, very personally connected why that is driving me to do all I need to do, and that includes connecting with my team and spirit to manifest this ideal lifestyle that we all will benefit from. So your burning desire, the why. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's the burning desire. And Lakeisha down there was asking, is there any specific tactics and tips? It's all about repetition, rewiring your brain. As a hip hop artist, I actually make my vision board and then I'll rap a song talking about the things in my vision board. And then what I'll do is I'll listen to it every single day in the morning. The first 30 minutes of my day, I'll listen to it probably like 14 times. Throughout my day, I'll listen to it 14 times. And before I go to sleep, I'll listen to it 14 times. And guess what? When I write it, I say it, I hear it, I record it, I mix and master it. Then I listen to it in the car, and then I'll perform it in front of 1,000 people. Their intention and attention is at me. Then I share it on Facebook, and that's 5,000 people looking at me and putting their attention at me. It intensifies.
Group intention.
Wow. That's really awesome.
Right. So I'm not here to hold up.
The group intention is huge. No. That's added to it. Thank you.
I want to leave y'all with one more thing.
Okay, go for it.
How often do you log into your social media and your email?
Oh, daily, every day.
Okay.
And then some.
All day.
Don't do that save password stuff. Log out of it. And I want you to change your password to a representation of what you want your season to become.
Oh, I already have.
Okay.
I've already got that one.
And you have to type it in every single time. And every single time you type it, put a big smile on your face and go, ah!
I love it.
And it happens.
Okay. That's pretty funny.
That's brilliant.
I like that.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Brilliant.
Well, anyways,
you are a perfect example of everything.
Listening, okay?
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was.
Oh, dude, I've got to get your details.
I'm not working hard enough on this whole hardboard thing. Oh my God. Wow.
One of the things that Therese and I do, we create these things called Spark Sessions, which is exactly what Rock Steady was talking about. Sorry, I didn't even ask his actual name, but anyway.
I know, neither did I.
Rocco. Okay. Awesome. So one of the things we do is create our team and spirit have given us the four intelligences all have their own words. And in order to reprogram and bring it down, we've created these what we call Spark Sessions, which include music, includes movement, in order to reprogram in what we want to believe is true. Because what we often do is we decide we want to believe something new, and we go, it kind of gets here and gets stuck. It's like, I know that's what I should believe, but it's not all the way down in the body. Once it's in the body, it's a done deal. Yes. And this is why repetition, which is what Rocco was saying, is so, so important, because it takes it from this ethereal kind of idea through the mind, through into the heart and soul, into the body. It's in the body. It is a done deal once it's in the body. So absolutely, the repetition, as many times as you can see it, write it, say it, talk about it as if you're already doing it. Play the as if game, which is which is a lot of fun. Play this. So you act as if you've got the millions and millions of dollars. I do this with my husband occasionally and go, oh, you can't take the Ferrari today, it's in the shop, but if you have the Maserati, you can have that for the rest of the week. The chopper's going to come pick me up. It's taking me to the private jet. I'll see you in Morocco next week.
I love it. I love that. Keisha, you know that's going to be your job. That's going to be your job. Do that thing.
Yeah,
I don't have anybody else to do it. It's her job.
But it gets you outside of what's happening in the here and now, because the here and now, if you're too focused on, well, this isn't working, that isn't working, that's where you're putting your energy, and this is all manifesting. Yeah. Whatever you're focused on is, and whatever you're feeling is what you're bringing in. You want to get out of that state of fear. Now, that said, with all the emotion mastery stuff that I do, there are times where your emotional stuff is the problem. So when you just decide on focusing else and you're distracting yourself from the actual feeling, can you hear me?
I know. I'm like, we got an echo and then we got some other thing happening.
Oh, you're not echoing for me?
Yeah, and there's static, like all this. Can anybody else hear that other than me? I'm not sure. It could just be me. I don't know.
It might be me. Maybe my internet connection is not as great as it could be.
Okay, it's perfect. It's good now. You're good now.
Okay. So sometimes when let me try and differentiate. It's okay if you have a little bit of fear and you distract yourself by going into focus on the positive. Mm-hmm. But there are times where, especially if the fear or the anxiety or whatever the emotion is, if it's overwhelming, it's being triggered for a reason. It's being triggered so that you can heal it, release it, and let it go. Because once you go through that healing release process, then you get to a place of being able to more naturally go, it's easier to focus on the positive. It's easier to feel the positive. But if you're holding back a tidal wave of emotion, which is always going to be stuck in your energy, then that is because you're manifesting what you're feeling. Right. You're manifesting what's in your energy. And sometimes it has to come to the surface for you to know that it's there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Got it. That makes
total sense. Feel it to heal it. Otherwise, focus on the positive. Let that expand.
Yeah, my mentor is often talking about feeling things, and not just feeling things, but feeling them in the body. Where do you feel that? What do you sense it in your body? Now, this body work stuff is something that is really 2015 new to me. So I've been doing it for about a year, and it is life altering. I'm certain because the acknowledgement in the body of where you feel an emotion really does allow it to move.
Yes.
Once you sense it in your body and acknowledge where it is, it's like, oh, I can actually feel it. And I can tell by the way I react to people and certain situations that it's dissipated, or at least it's dissipated some. Yeah. That's pretty big when we're talking about things like family, mom, dad.
Yeah. Look, family and people we love are the biggest triggers. Money is also a really big trigger.
Right.
Love it.
Exactly. Yep.
But here's a quick way to move it through your body. I mean, when I do a session with someone, we do like 90 minutes of full on. It's a mixture of NLP, hypnosis, energy work, theta healing, spirit. It's just everything.
Got it.
But a quick way to help shift some of that emotion is to, in that moment when you're feeling that fear or whatever, stop and just acknowledge, okay, right now I'm feeling fear. Or right now I'm feeling angry, or right now I'm feeling frustration, or whatever it is. Just outwardly acknowledge that you're feeling it, and then focus on where you're feeling it in your body. Yep. That's a big one. Mm-hmm. And breathe. Just allow it to be there. Allow it to move through, and just breathe into it. You don't need to judge it. You don't need to say you shouldn't feel it or distract yourself from it. Just feel it.
Can I get you to elaborate a bit on, because that's especially in the holistic community, I find everybody wants to glaze over there. And you know what? I shouldn't say that's only the holistic.
Yeah, I hear.
A lot of time I think in Christian language as well, you have to get your forgiveness immediely. I'm like, but I'm not done being mad. We have to go through the 7 steps of grieving on a lot of things, whether it's loss of a person or loss of your innocence, whatever. We got to go through and a lot of the time we want to glaze, and then we're, again, the fix it fast society here in America, especially, we use a lot of psychotropics. So that's why I keep picking on that part, because that too allows us to glaze over the emotion and simply placate it and tamper it down. And all that does is really stuff it down in our body.
It doesn't go anywhere else. It's still there.
And it blocks us from everything that is awesome. The one thing I've definitely learned being an intuitive, being a psychic, and reading for as many people as I've had the good grace to now be able to do, every time I talk to someone, I mean, I could probably put myself on a tape recorder at this point, and I don't mean that to sound flippant, more that we are, and I've read for people all over the world. I've now read for someone on every continent, and our themes are the same. It doesn't matter if we're third world or industrialized. It does not matter. Everything in our lives is either about fear or love. And everything that stops us from doing what we want to really do is all about fear. And it's always about the blocks. And 99% of that stuff is deep rooted and something that somebody told us back in 1992 that we still haven't let go of yet. And it's so unfortunate, because as an intuitive, I can see it, because I see, I see subconscious, I can see below the surface, but I'm talking to someone who is conscious. This is why I love hypnotherapy so much, because it allows you really to tap into their subconscious to help them get to the thing that is actually blocking them from being the person that they want to be. But in addition to that, for me as a reader, I read for people and I go, they really can't see it. Like, they're talking in a loop and they don't see it. And I understand now we're all talking in a loop until we get to what was the cause, what was the real cause, the root cause of it. And that's so huge. That's such a big deal. Sorry, anytime you hit something really big, I almost hear like a bell, and I like, boom, better acknowledge that one.
Yeah, and the emotions give you a lot of clues. This is the thing. People are so afraid of their emotions, but they tell you everything. Like you were talking before about, you needing to feel it, needing to feel the anger or whatever. And I actually teach people how to chuck tantrums. Like, it's part of the therapy. You know what? You need to spend 30 days chucking a tantrum every day because you've got repressed anger. And the problem is that if someone even remotely does something that makes you angry, you explode, and then you beat yourself up over the person you shouldn't be, and and it makes it worse. So you know what? 30 days of healthy tantrum chucking. And the reason it's healthy is because there's nobody else involved. Nobody gets hurt in the making of this tantrum. And they literally just release the anger. That's all they've got to do. And they can easily, guaranteed, go back to a time. I'd tell them, go find something that made you angry recently or something in the past. Think of your mother-in-law or your father or whoever. Let that situation trigger the anger and just let it out. Like, scream, jump up and down, throw yourself on the bed, kick and scream like a 2-year-old until you get to a point where you just laugh at yourself or cry. One of the two. It works.
Somewhere I can hear I'm taking alchemical hypnotherapy, which really is the meeting of all things woohoo and holistic and hypnotherapy all in one place, which is pretty freaking awesome. And it's just like you named, it's NLP, it's hypnotherapy, but it's a lot of esoteric as well, working with guides. And somewhere I can hear Debbie Unterman Shirley jumping up and down, screaming at what you just said, like literally wanting to do some cartwheels because you got to get the anger out. And she's been punching at home continuously. You got to get it out, because otherwise it does not really allow for you. And I'll readily say, for the first 3 months of class, I'm kind of looking at her like, why do you need me to hate my mother? I don't want to hate. I was very resistant to I don't want to do that. I don't like that at all. Like, why do you need
I don't want to be angry.
My parents. It's a temporary process, of course. And the other side of that is freedom.
Oh, massively.
That's the thing that nobody really gets. It's like, once the anger is temporary, you just need to be able to get out the actual emotion. Yes. Once you do, then it's no longer a trigger. And that's when you know it works, because somebody could say the same thing to you 6 weeks later and you go,
huh? Yeah.
And I've been there a couple moments where I go, this feels like it's your crap, not mine.
Yeah, the biggest example of that for me was my ex-husband and having to deal with him. And there's always stuff to deal with your exes, right? And he would be the only one that would ever trigger me to feel such a level of anger and frustration. I'd want to throw things through windows, which is so not like me. So a friend of mine took me through a forgiveness process, which is now, it forms the basis of one I do now that's got a whole lot of other stuff to it. But the biggest part was going through this process of feeling the anger and releasing it. And then I thought, I don't feel like it really did a lot of stuff. But then the next time he called to cancel and change our arrangement with my daughter, there was a little bit of frustration, but so not the amount that I'd felt that time before. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that kind of sucks, but oh well, I'm just going to spend some time with her doing something else instead. So this stuff, it freaking works. It's so effective.
That's how you know you did your work. That is truly my telltale symbol, whether I am the hypnotherapist or whether I've had work done on me or, done the work in session for myself to figure out whether or not it actually works. I ran into an old mentor of mine and we parted in very not friendly ways. And I saw him at an event and we got to talking and I felt nothing.
Perfect.
Super, super close. So this should have had me, where I was.
Yeah, which what happens to most people. Yes.
I could feel a little twinge of something, but
that's okay. It's a little bit. So then you just go, you know what? Yeah, I kind of feel like that was crap, but okay.
And it's
okay. Next,
what I think two things and this has come up a lot recently because there are other moments where I'm really seeing I've done my work. Don't get me wrong, I got a long way to go, but I can see the little moments where I've done my work. Some other similar scenarios with people who are either teachers or mentors, and the two things I noticed: number one, I don't have an emotional charge around it, and number two, not having an emotional charge. I think for a lot of us, we are often expecting when we get to the other side of something, in other words, freedom is supposed to look like a run through lavender fields, and then there's a birthday.
and fireworks.
They're all waiting. Yeah, they're like, it's like the 4th of July and New Year's Eve all rolled into one, and somebody's like, God damn it, you finally did it. Look at it. You're not emotional about it anymore, and there's a ticker tape parade and a whole party as though you had come home from war. Sadly, you got to throw your own party. And it's up to you to figure out when you, in fact, lavender, because that's the visual I always get. Lavender, and there's a big lavender cake at the end, and it's just for me. And it's like, look at you, you're no longer codependent with this person. Hoorah! Doesn't happen, folks. Here's the real announcement, and this is where it gets crazy. For me, and it kind of cracked me up. I got to the tail end of this process, and I finally realized, there's nobody here. Nobody knows that I did something really, really well except me.
I let it go.
I'm like, oh my God, I jumped this hurdle. This is huge for me. I'm waiting for some applause, anything. Seriously, somebody tell me that I'm fabulous. And I finally realized, oh, this is growth. Oh, this is what growth looks like. It kind of sucked a little bit. I'm not going to lie, because I'm thinking, growth does not come with a ticker tape parade. Instead, growth is a very quiet, internal acknowledgement. Here's the moment. You, in fact, have jumped this hurdle, and you are now recognizing this pattern and other people like it that fall into this pattern. Holy Methuselah, nobody throws a parade other than my spirit guides, but or hell, if I talk to them all day outside in the mall, people think I'm nuts. So, really, I'm just going through this process going, thank you. And thank you very much for acknowledging that. But I'm thinking, wow, we're all waiting for this external acknowledgement of it. And really, validation. That's when you get to that kind of holy grail. It felt like a holy grail moment for me where you go, oh no, that acknowledgement is never coming externally. It is always going to be an internal process where you finally understand, I'm not charged by this. And the feeling of not being emotionally charged by something is the most gratifying feeling in the world for me, because I knew I had done my work and it was over the moon, but the ecstatic was all by myself, like it was just really me all by myself. I'm going, wow, this is the loneliest feeling on earth. All this progress. Okay, then. But I say all that to say, and I say that for everybody in the room, because I know a lot of us here are either in process, launching things, doing really amazing stuff. And a lot of the time when we jump those amazing hurdles and get to the other side of something, it's like, oh my God, I'm still waiting for somebody to say, you're fabulous, you did it. And they have no idea what the frig you're talking about. So anyway, I say all that to say that real growth is a very quiet internal process. And that's been a new acknowledgement for me. I'd say in the last 3-4 months where this is what grown up really feels like, huh? I'm still waiting. Listen, if you all feel the need to throw me a parade, by the way, I really have had major growth. So, we'll just all get together and throw each other a parade, the lavender fields and a big giant lavender cake.
Now we know how to how to make you celebrate your lavender cake. There you go.
I know, right? And Lakeisha just said something else really huge. And this is, for me personally, this has been a big deal. celebrating the wins. She forces me to do this a lot of the time. Like when I get to whatever it is I've accomplished and go, oh yeah, oh yay. Remember when you were 2 and you got potty trained and you came out of the bed and everyone's like, yay. I'm like, I have to do that for myself now. Okay.
Oh, good.
Oh, look at me. I did something. So it's just that internal acknowledgement. Anyway, I say all that to say that is often the process. I love that. I embrace the whispers from the angels. Oh, I absolutely love
that. Is beautiful.
I love how that sounds.
One of the ways, I mean, I'm lucky I've got a business partner and a best friend who both of us can be that celebration for each other. Like we hold that space. So it's like, you know what? Because there's a part of us that actually wants some sort of external validation to go, yay, good job, here's your cookie, well done. So we acknowledge that, yeah, you know, there's a part of us that kind of wants that. So we do that for each other. So you have like a celebration buddy or she's also my bitch buddy. Yeah, I think everybody needs a bitch buddy. It's that someone who understands that you just need to vent and will hold the space and even like ramp you up and go, yeah, that bitch, god damn it, so that you can really get the emotion out, knowing not to take any of it seriously, and that both of us, when we get to the end of our bitch rant, will go, okay, all right, now what are we going to do about that?
That is definitely what Lakeisha serves, and we really do for one another. Where we're all of the above in that, and you're right. It's great to have a partner who is also a real friend, so you can talk about those moments. Because otherwise, you're talking to yourself, and my whole family would really think I was on something if I spent much time talking to myself as I want to.
That's okay. You just find your tribe, and I think that's an important part. We as humans, we thrive with community. We thrive with, you know, having people that are similar to us that raise us up and support us. And I think that's a really critical part. That while there is parts of it that we do need to do on our own, there is probably a lot of it that we don't. And it's really just about finding that right group or crowd that really does get you. And it could be an online crowd. It doesn't matter where it is, but just having that sense of community and support is huge for success in every way.
Awesome. You are so absolutely correct about. Oh my goodness, I tell you, well, if you haven't made anybody else feel better, you've definitely made my New Year start off with a bang. I'm going, okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not entirely crazy.
No, you're definitely not crazy. Otherwise, I'm crazy, and I'm not admitting to being crazy.
I'm not owning that one today. No, yes, I'm right there with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to once again post the link for. Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
It always takes a second to show up on my computer. Okay, so I'm putting the link up for Coach Rach for her Spirit for Success website, and this is her free success toolkit that will help you manifest things in your life. There is a specific focus on money there. So for all of us who have lots of New Year's goals that are centered around making stuff happen in our business, this is a great way to get introduced to her services and what it is that she provides and what it is she does, and a great way to kind of get a feel for how to do you have the links for the podcast?
If you go to spiritforsuccess.com, there is a menu item that has podcast, and there's a link there to be able to find it on iTunes, and it is on Stitcher, but you can definitely subscribe to the RSS for that one. And the group, that I'll have to go and get the link for.
I'm going to give a link to, because I know you actually gave this one to me, Spirit for Success. You gave that one to me, so I will put that one up. And that will link you to the podcast directly, ladies and gents.
Oh, it'll link you to the homepage, and one of the menu items is the podcast.
Awesome. Got it.
And even on if you go to any of the blog posts, on the right-hand side, there is a little square that says join our Facebook group. So pretty much everything is you can access it from the website. And one of the other things we do every new moon and full moon is we do a spirit circle where we channel through energy and information from our team in spirit to set you up for the following fortnight. The new moon, is it new moon? Yep, the new moon's coming up. So the new moon is all about bringing it. So it's about attracting, moving, bringing things in, and the full moon is about releasing and letting things go. So we do those spirit circles, like I said, on the full moon and the new moon, and you can access the information on that from our website.
Nice. I actually saw the link to that. I didn't realize that it was centered around the moons, though.
Oh, yeah.
Information. How cool is that? Very, very good.
So we're trying a whole bunch of different things and just seeing what we love doing. And I think any business realistically, and this has been a big change in my business, is sitting down and going, what would I love to do? What do I enjoy doing? So these kind of shows, love it. I'm in my zone. I'm on my flow. Podcast, same thing, because we're just talking. That is easy for me. That's an easy format for me. Yes. Writing is the next one. I enjoy writing the odd blog post. When the inspiration hits, I write it because I can knock out a really good blog post in like 30 minutes, photo done, up on the website, out on all the social media. Nice. But yeah, and there's other formats that don't really fit me very well. So where I have to teach, but I don't have any interaction like this, I struggle with that. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that shit. I would rather just do it in this kind of format. So our business is now set up, and we're trying all these different things because they're things that we actually love doing. We're having fun. This business is set up on us having fun, and that's why it's successful. It's success. It's not all the way there yet, but every day we are successful. We've got more people joining the list. We've got more people joining us for the spirit circles, more people following our podcast. It is already successful and getting more successful.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all you can ask. That's what's supposed to happen. Before you can have big success, you've got to have all the steps and the levels in. And again, you're really kind of bringing us back to what we talked about originally in realistic goals and putting those goals in front of yourself and being okay with the growth process. Somebody else, and I wish I could say who that was that I was talking to. Oh, it was a coaching session. And we were talking about realisticness again. And I heard, intuitively that very often, we write goals together and it's these huge, monumental. And I'm like, well, let's find the 25% version of that. And then next week we can aim for the 50%. And if it happens to exceed that, that's where you leave the room for the miracles. And that's okay. If it happens to be, 10,000 people respond next week. But if they don't, set the goal for, 100 or 1,000, and then you're not disappointed. And then you don't
the thing. I'm going to pick on that for a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think you can, it doesn't matter what or how big the goal is. What matters is how you feel about it. If you're so attached, I have to hit that goal, you're showing like that attachment is the problem already. If you want to manifest something, you've actually got to be detached from the outcome. You've got to be in that place of, you know what? If it happens, fantastic. I'm going to celebrate, but I'm already successful. I'm already enough. I'm already lovable. And because that's the gratitude part, remember? That's why. Yeah, you're getting it. I can see that's the ticking over in your head. So, hey, have the goal of 10,000. But if it doesn't hit to 10,000 next week, it's like, okay, great. But look, let's celebrate what we managed to achieve this week. Like I've set some high goals, but no longer, which is the old pattern, do I, if I don't hit it, hit myself over the head about it, get disappointed about it. It's like, wow, okay, cool. That was feedback. Now, what can I do differently or change or add? And that's when I tune in with my intuition, tune in with my team and go, right, guys, what do I need to do differently? What can I learn from this? Is there anything to learn, or is it really just a matter of timing? So at no point is there any room for disappointment, upsetness, frustration, berating of self because I'm not good enough, which is bullshit. It's really about being in flow with your goals, being so in love with them that you're going to dance with them and you're going to make some real progress right now, and it's going to step back a little bit. It's really starting to define and feel into the energy of it. So, for instance, here's another thing. With our business, when I do my morning ritual, I energize my business as a separate entity. I draw and pull energy and add energy to it, and I allow it to draw energy from the universe, and then I see it reaching out to the people that are really aligned with it and then reaching back to the business. I've detached it from me. I'm allowing it to grow in the way that it is meant to grow, rather than being so ownership of it and it's so mine and it's so personal if it doesn't work. Let that go. Your business is its own entity and it needs to grow at its own pace.
That's a really interesting way of looking at things. I feel like I need you to say that again.
Okay. So your business is its,
for me, I'm going, okay.
So your business is its own entity. Okay, it's going to grow at its own pace. So a bit like a baby, think about this. You fall pregnant and you think, yes, I want to have this baby right this second. But if your body had to go through like 9 months of pregnancy in 2 days, that would really fucking hurt. So there is an incubation period. Things have to grow at the rate they have to grow. You can't look at a tree and go, I need you to be an oak tree tomorrow.
Right.
You can't do that. You can energize it, love it, take the action you need to take, but see it as a separate entity that you're giving love and nourishment to, but allow it to grow at its own natural rate. Okay. So you can be in gratitude, you can be in intention, and you can flow with the ebbs and flows of the business, because just like everything else, there are cycles. There are going to be times where it grows, growth spurts, it moves, it changes, but there's going to be periods where it needs to rest, just like you.
Yes, Ms. Boomy, you just said it. That was a golden nugget. That's why I needed you to repeat it, because A, the oak tree analogy is huge, and B, just the idea, I think about it all the time. We put all these goals on a platform, on a spreadsheet, whatever, and it sounds great, but the very second it doesn't happen, frustrated, with ourselves.
Yeah.
It's always this feeling like,
I didn't do it, I failed. Yeah, exactly. And that then hampers your ability to manifest. It completely shuts you down. So for our guides like to talk to us in computer terminology. They're funny like that. So when you're in fear, your Wi-Fi, you've turned that fucker off. You are no longer connected to the universe and getting the guidance to go, hey, we've got this door over here. I know that door's closed, but hey, look, there's a door over here. Come over here. You're not hearing any of that because you've come in. You've turned everything off.
Right.
Getting into gratitude and going, you know what? Great, it didn't work out. Cool. What feedback? What do I need to know? How do I feel about this? Process any emotion. Great. Okay. Hey, team, what happened there? Oh, well, connection, information. Oh, inspiration goes, hey, go and check out that website, do this thing. Awesome. I'm going to do that next. Off you go. Very different way to operate.
That's big. That's really big. Wow, that's really big. And like I said, that really opened. And I'm looking at now. I'm thinking about there are several people in this room spiritual businesses, so they do something compartment all of that. And I'm thinking this is really fivefold for us. We're not to add all this attachment, because it makes it for us to create in particular. Is centered around well. So it's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
It's I was just thinking. I just had a thought. I just jumped out of my head. Okay, it'll come back if it needs to.
Is it because I'm moving?
I don't know. Who's the echo? Where's the echo? I can't hear anything.
It goes too.
Yeah, probably the internet connection on one side or the other.
Yeah.
Is the echo happening when I'm speaking, or?
No, it's me. It's me. I can hear myself.
Oh, right. Yeah, there is a delay.
Oh, right. Did I just transfer? And I still can hear myself. Okay. Yeah, I tried that before. And because then echo was loud. So let's try it again.
Well, technology this time of year.
I know. It's never foolproof.
No, it's not.
Hello.
Lakeisha says refresh. Hello.
Okay, I'm going to do that really quickly. I'm going to refresh. Lakeisha, you're in here, right? You want to hop in the seat really quick?
La la la.
Okay.
Hey, Lakeisha.
I'll be right back.
Hey. Oh, I can't hear you. Is your mic on? I can't hear you. I can do mind reading. Not quite so much.
Thanks, Lakeisha. I appreciate you. Thanks, Lakeisha. I still hear the echo, don't I?
Yep, that's better.
I still hear the echo, don't I?
You seem fine to me. I'm not hearing an echo.
I don't know.
No more lag though, so that's a good one. Got it.
Wow.
Anyway, has anybody got any questions they want to throw at me while we sort through these technical issues?
Yes. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Miss, no pressure.
Feel like there should be some elevator music. Blab throwing hints with all that static and echo.
So maybe it's energetic. We're just getting the itchy, scratchy stuff tonight. It's all good. Plus, didn't Mercury go retrograde today, or is that tomorrow? Either way, I've been watching Atlanta traffic. I'm sure we've been feeling the effects for weeks because stuff is strange here. Yeah. Every time I get into traffic, I guess I've gotten very used to not having to be in rush hour traffic. So I'm driving through like highway traffic in Atlanta thinking these people are all lunatics. I'm like, how does everyone not die every day? Like, it's just really nuts. It's really insane. I'm going, okay, maybe. And it doesn't always feel that way to me. So I'm thinking we're already kind of seeing the effects of retrograde. It's time.
Yeah.
It is better now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So you can set an intention. Yeah, you can set an intention. It's how we play with intention all the time. But you, particularly when you've got to go out on the road, and Therese did this the other night, knowing that she had to drive and the roads were icy and whatnot. And she set the intention that they were going to get there. No, like completely safe and protected, easy drive there and back. And on the way there and on the way back, there were people skidding on the roads. There were accidents. All of that was happening around her, and even one car was sliding and coming towards her, but just before, not far before her, it flipped back into place and kept going, and she's like, thank you. Wow. So set intention, play with intention, work with your team.
You know what, I would say probably traffic is the only time I really remember to do things, especially if I live way up in metro Atlanta, so I'm far from literally everything. If I go visit a friend, it takes an hour for me to get there. So with that in mind, I'm always, if I got to leave the house, I'm on the highway. So especially when I notice people are doing a lot of really strange wayward traffic, I'm going to be safe and everything's, and I kind of set that but I have to see something first a lot of the time to set that intention, because, I'll see somebody do like 4 lanes, no signal. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to do that today. So let's go ahead and talk to my guides and make sure that we're good and, all in the cocoon and protected so that we don't have to worry about it. But that's normally what triggers remembering for me to do that piece of work, is watching people's patterns on the road. And then I realize everybody's kind of, doing the wild child thing.
You do? Mm-hmm. Use your NLP hypnosis skills to program that every time you pick up the keys. Every time you pick up the keys, you talk to your guides and set your intention. Every time you pick up the keys. Let me just say that again. Every time you pick up the keys, you set your intention. Every time you pick up the keys, you set that intention. Not that I'm suggesting that you pick up the keys and set that intention.
I love it. Good work. Thank you very much. Thank you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write that one out and record myself saying it. Every time you pick up the keys.
Every time I pick up the keys, I set the intention for a safe trip.
Safe and with ease. I love the with ease part. I'm noticing so many people are saying that.
It's my favorite. Ease and grace. Ease and grace. I had to add fun because I kept forgetting. I need some fun, more fun. Ease and grace and fun.
Miss Boomy asked a really good question. Now that we're getting all into the subconscious, I love that she asked that. I have no idea why I keep touching my chin tonight. I don't think I normally do that, but I did. I noticed it myself. I was like, why do I keep touching myself?
You're thinking.
Here? And then I thought, I was like, am I anchoring it in? I'm like, maybe
you're processing.
I know. I'm like, maybe I'm anchoring the thoughts. I don't know. Is it a focal point for me? Maybe I'm probably focused on my face. When I went in the bathroom, I was just looking at, I'm doing the slight bits of breakout again. Cause I got cold. I am a diva. Yeah. I'm checking myself. I put shea butter on my face, and I can see the shine in different parts of my face from it. So I'm looking underneath my nose, and I'm like, oh God, does it look like my nose is running? Because I swear it's not, people. I'm a perfectly clean girl. It's shea butter. If you see shine on my face anywhere, that's what it is. I'm going up. That's why I keep going like this, because I'm actually touching the shea butter. Like, okay, did I not just,
It's so good. You're the only one that's really noticing that, because everybody else is not so focused on you like you think they are. We've got to remember that, though. Please. People are not thinking about, oh, she's got that spot on her head, or I can't even find one. Right. I did such a good job of the makeup today. Right. It's all covered, exactly. Although my nose is peeling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I keep doing this, and I don't know why, because I don't think that's something I normally do on my black.
So stop right there and put your finger back on your chin.
Yeah.
Now ask yourself, what does that mean to you? What's the emotion you feel when you go into that space?
I feel it in my belly. It's a little bit of fear, but I can't tell you what about exactly.
You're vulnerable in that moment because you're processing stuff. Yeah. This is how you keep that space between you and the other people.
And the first thing I heard was your thinking. Yeah, that's okay. And I'm thinking that's part of it, that I'm focused on saying the right thing or giving the right information, because I keep look at me, y'all. Look at me. Look at Rach.
Because you're thinking, it's a thinking.
Me. And Boomy doing side NLP here. Boomy's always doing side something. She won't ever jump in, but it's okay. We know she's a guru. She just won't go there with us. It's all right. Yes, I think you're exactly right. I think I'm touching my chin, and it must be when I'm focused on the words, but I'm in my head at that moment.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, which is not uncommon for me.
Look, I'm recovering out of my header as well, so it's all good. This year, like I said, the theme is to get even more trust.
Yes.
More trust, which means out of my fucking head.
Yes, and that's not an easy, especially when you've been doing it 30, 40 years. It's not an easy process, but it's definitely
no, and if you're
learning.
An entrepreneur, and entrepreneurialism, I mean, business is a very masculine thing, so it's very heady. You've got to think about what's my to-do list, and switching from that into a more feminine, and it's not just feminine, masculine, it's really about being a more integrated, holistic operator. Then you start to get, some of it's your head. It's learning how to use the head, when to use the head. And we're so over-programmed to use our head. So our new way of doing things is to go, right, what do I feel inspired by right this second? That's number one. Listen to that first.
Yes.
And then you sort of check in with your team and spirit and go, right, okay, I'm really feeling this, what other guidance do I need? What other action do I need to take? You get those details. And then the brain goes, that's what's supposed to happen. The brain then goes, oh, okay, that's my project. Right, these are the actions I need to do. These are the steps I need to take. So here's the plan. That's the brain's, that's what it's supposed to do. Or check in. Its other role, which is kind of part of it, is to get information from all the four intelligences to make decisions and create plans. So, hey, body, how do we feel about the timeline on this? And the body will either give you two pieces of information, one intuitive, but also two, your stuff, because your emotional stuff is stored in your body.
That's huge, the way you just kind of it felt like the four winds to me, like you just made that all come together for me in that, right? You got the intuitive aspect, then you've got the brain aspect, and then you've got the body, which really needs to be integrated into that whole process. And
the body is the mouthpiece.
That's where you're really listening to figure out, is this right or is this wrong? And the anxiousness alone should tell you so much, because that's what I know when I'm off, because I've created it and I go, can't breathe.
Yep.
Or something. The breath becomes very short, and it's like, oh, that's not right.
So then often what happens is that people feel that anxiety, and then they go, oh, I'm anxious, I shouldn't do it. Or they just get lost in the anxiety, which then feeds the critical mind and goes around in circles and feeds it and creates, so it fuels it. But the problem is that that's not what the brain's meant to do. What it's meant to do is to go, oh, I feel anxious. All right, body, what is that about? Am I anxious because this isn't the right path for me, or am I anxious because I've got some stuff around it?
Right. Right.
Ooh, okay, I've got stuff. All right, so let's go into the stuff. Let's go into what is it about this that really has triggered the anxiety? What is the worst case scenario? Because that's what it's afraid of.
Right.
Oh, I'm afraid of failing. Okay, here we go again. All right, so let's feel interference, blah, 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 blah. So then I go into my healing process, deconstruct, to move through the emotion. But the emotion is just coming up to let you know, either let you know, hey, don't do that, or do that, or, hey, you've got some stuff that's ready to be healed, dissolved, or resolved. You're like, hello, because you need either one to make a decision on what to do next. So the brain's meant to investigate, to find out what's really at the bottom of that, not to make all these massive decisions based on just the mind alone, because it's like I like to look at it as a library, where all of the information is coming in. So your mind, if it's just focused on its own information, it'll go to two places. It'll go to history because, well, let's look at the past to see if we've ever accomplished that and decide whether or not we can accomplish that in the future. Or it goes to fiction. Well, I don't have any data on that, so we're just going to have to make this shit up. And it makes it up based on what it can see in fiction, in history.
Right.
But unless you train your brain to then go and access the computer at the back of the room, which goes straight out to the internet, that's your connection to spirit, out to the internet, which has a much larger data source to let you know what the chances of success are than your little tiny little computer in the library. And then you've got your body, which is really the housing of all of it. So the body knows what's what. And it's the part of you that tells you, that gives you the indications. Oh, I don't feel good. I need to put, something. I'm cold. Put a jumper on me. Oh, that doesn't feel good because it doesn't feel right. Or it doesn't feel good because, hey, you've got some shit you need to clear up over there.
Right. Which is almost always the case.
Double vision, right eye.
Yeah. No, my eyes tend to roll up when I'm listening to my guides. Almost always, and I look to the right specifically because that's where I hear. Not exclusively where I hear, but it happens to be where I tell the story that I hear. So obviously I program my brain to believe that I'm only hearing over there. I'm sure it's more than that. But that's what I do that quite a bit when I'm. Yeah, if you go back and look at me in probably other videos where I've been reading, you'll probably see me do this a lot, or do that, or do this. And there's nothing there, I assure you. I think a lot of people probably think I'm literally looking at someone. No, not really. Not so much. But,
when I go into my head sometimes, I look up. It's like I've got to get rid of the distraction to get into the clear thought to come through. So you're not alone. But anyway, so that's a bit of a rundown, a bit more of the four intelligences.
Thank you very, very much. Well, it is 8:56. And I'm going to post your links again. You did a phenomenal job. Thank you so much. And I do want to kind of tie all this information together for everyone in what we talked about this evening and in manifesting and the need to be, I'm looking for the right word for this, progressive in your process so that when you are writing, whether it's a goal or a vision board or however you're putting down this information, so that you are free flowing through it. So it's really about the lack of attachment and the need to not have a vice grip on it so much and to allow it to be whatever it's going to be. It's so funny. As I'm saying this, I'm finally thinking to myself, this is what I tell people in readings all the time. And I get it when I'm reading for other people. This is so funny because I can hear myself saying this a lot of time when people are talking about relationships. And first of all, people, when am I getting married? And I'm like, okay, and I tell them what's coming, yada, yada, yada. And they're like, well, that's not going to work because I want to stay in my house. And I'm like, you got a lot of parameters around this. I'm like, what if he's got a bigger house? I'm like, what if he had a house that was twice the size of yours? Or better yet, what if his house is in Hawaii on the beach? Like, why are you adding all these parameters? You have no idea what's coming. And people get really intense about that. No, that's not going to work. And I'm like, well, probably none of it's going to work because you have decided it's not going to work. And I get that when I'm talking to anybody else, but it's always that need. This is why people need their own coach, even when they are a coach. You have to have.
I've got coaches.
Lakeisha and I
someone on the outside of your fishbowl.
And we also compare the folks anybody who's really, a who's who in the world of who's who, especially in the world of spirituality. they all have multiple coaches who hold them accountable and teach them how to stay, you know, and keep moving towards their goals. And I think it's so important because I say this all the time to people: you can never be your own psychologist. That's not something I fundamentally believe.
There's only so far you can go.
Exactly. It's like being your own lawyer. There's a point where there's a cutoff, and it's like, okay, I need somebody else to kind of pitch hit here because they're not emotionally tied to it. And especially when we're talking about emotional blocks, ferreting out your own emotional blocks, that would seem like almost a work of fiction to me, you know, because even if you get to it and sense it and feel it, you still need somebody else to be able to say, but, or if, or what if, or point out the obvious points that a lot of the time, if you're blocked about it, you're not going to do for yourself, because if it was that easy to get to it, then we'd all already be there. Blocks would be gone.
I end up coaching a lot of my friends, and it's not coaching so much as they know that I'm a hard hitter when it comes to the emotional stuff. Because I'm intuitive, we get in, I find, it's almost like I find the thread. It's like, oh, that's it. We're going to do a forgiveness on that person, that thing, that experience, whatever it was. I go straight in. We spend usually 90 minutes doing a full session, but they'll come to me to do the deeper emotional healing because they know that I can get in there and get in deep, go quickly. So I coach a lot of coaches in that way.
Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Well, Rach, I cannot thank you enough. You have been a tremendous asset. I know for me, I literally am in the midst of, and it's funny, I was busy trying to get it off camera, but I'm in the midst of creating, and I have 3 of these because I've been amply prepared to do, it's kind of far down on the screen.
Show me.
Yeah, to do my vision boards. But the thing I really did, and which kind of tickled me when you were talking about putting kind of the Post-its up and then being able to interchange them, is I always make sure it's not glued, because I want to be able to take stuff out and put stuff in. And I'm recognizing now that, because the last vision board that I did, I realized how many things on it actually happened. And some of them I put up there and forgot. And then it started to manifest, and I'm going, where did this go? Like, what's the Hawaii crap all about? And I look at the thing, and sure enough, it was just someplace I was talking about for a trip, and I just put it on the vision board. And now it won't stop coming up. Like, okay. Damn. And I realized, I'm like, I'll be damned. Like, I put Maui on the vision board, and that's why it won't shut off anymore. And I'm like, all right. So I'm going to leave it on there now because I'm good with the whole Hawaii thing. But it kind of cracked me up because I keep looking at it going, I want it to be fluid. I want it to be interchangeable where I can take stuff, put it on, take other stuff, take it off, you know, and then I wanted to make it girly. So, you know, it's got sparkles and
allow space for miracles.
And allow space for, and that was probably the biggest thing that you in particular said to, and I heard you so loudly, because the best things that have happened to me, I would say in the last year and a half, in particular for my business, were just that. They were the miracles. They were not, it was nothing I was looking for, nothing I was expecting. And it just came from what seemed out of nowhere. I'm sure I manifested it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, but even just allowing it to come in, even if I couldn't see it coming, was tremendous. It was huge. It was very gratifying. It was very validating for me, even though I shouldn't need the validation. We do. And, you know, just hearing people say, wow, we want you to come here and, you know, do this workshop and that was huge for me. It really told me I was on the right path and that I was going in the right direction. And you're right. You need space on these boards to be able to say, fill it in with whatever miraculous amazingness you can find. I'll take it. And I know if it looks anything like what I've got or better, I'm more than happy.
This or something better. Always. This or something better. I'm happy with
it. Exactly.
Actually, I need to put that on a post-it note and put it on my wall. I'm going to add that. Yeah. This or something better. I'm up for that.
People say that all the time, and I always forget to add that part, that this or something better. And I'm like, okay, I gotta do better with that. I gotta do better with my wording, my verbiage. So does anybody else have any questions before we close out this evening? Because I want to, yes, this or something better, this or something better. I hear a lot of people say that, and I always forget it myself, but this or something better. This is your way of bringing in the miracles and not questioning so much what they look like. So one more time, I am going to post the link.
Thank you very much.
For the free success kit that will give you tools to manifesting money and all the wonderful things that you want in your life. So feel free, folks, to opt in to that list so you can continue to hear from Rach Wilson. Obviously, she's got quite a bit to offer. And this has been an awesome show. It was a great way to start the new year. I cannot thank you enough because it's exactly where I wanted to go in. We can do, there's a psychic reading, and then the next component is, okay, now what do I do to actually make it happen? And this is exactly what I'm
very big on practical
talking about.
Yeah, I really focus on the fact, and this is why I love having a business partner, is very much the intuitive psychic, and she's more into the creative, ethereal place. But this seems to be the marriage of the two of us. Yes. I'm very practical, very grounding, which allows her to then go further up when we do our channeling sessions. But she'll bring the concepts down, and then I'll ask the question, well, how can I turn this into a tool, a physical thing, something that people can actually utilize and implement in their lives? Or, that's what I do. I do that. Simplify, use, practical. Okay. Very non-spiritual, but it works.
I love that. I think Lakeisha and I are getting some excellent tools because we're going to do some planning sessions soon. So thank you. That's big. That's really, really big. That is fantastic. Okay. So.
Well, thanks, everybody. It's been great to sort of get a chance to meet you all, even though I've kind of just read little content chunks as you've been writing today. So thank you for joining us today. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Coach Rach, I hope to have you on again before the year has completed, and we can talk more about mid-year manifesting, that kind of thing. So thank you so much for joining us, and I will post the link at the very end of the show when I actually log off. Beautiful. So that everybody
can. We'll add it to the website so everybody can see.
Yep. So it'll be the last thing that they see. So I will not hold you up any longer because I know this is the middle of your work day. So it is 1:05 there. Is that right?
Yep, 1:05 in the afternoon, and I've got a jam-packed afternoon full of calls. So
look at me translating time. I am freaking. I don't know if you can tell. I'm really excited about that. I can translate time to New Zealand. Look at me. Yes, New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm so Australia, excited. A little bit further over to the left.
Yes. Awesome. So I will go ahead and say good day to you, and I wish you much success. Thank you so much for coming.
Anytime. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody.
All righty. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause the recording really quickly. Okay, everyone. Thank you all for coming. My name is Asaki Kai. Tune in next week, and we're going to be talking about yoga and spirit connection with Patrick Jones, and he is going to be here to tell you all about how you can connect to spirit through your body. It should be a very exciting show. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you. Good night.